In this video, we're going to work on a healthy vocal cord function. And that's very important if you use your voice for anything. If you use your voice at work, in life a lot, if you're just like a big talker. And of course, if you want to sing, you need to get a really nice, healthy vocal cord function. And we're not necessarily focusing on that first thing when we start learning how to sing, which is a pity. I think we should. This is what our singing is based on. It's a vocal cords coming together, the air is going between them, then we use our resonances in different ways. That's our singing. So learning how to close the vocal cords properly is very important. I also want to explain a little bit what that means to close the vocal cords. And it's not so complicated. It is, but it's also not. So basically, if those are my two vocal cords, they're going to be here where my throat is, where my larynx is. I'm going to make them vertical for you so you can see, okay? This is the way they are. They're like joined in the front and open in the back. This is how they are when we just breathe in and out without making any sound. So air is just going in between the vocal cords and they're completely open, no sound, okay? The moment they start coming together and the air is going in between them, it's gonna make them vibrate. It's a little bit like when you open a balloon and you have that squeaky sound. Then of course, you know, if the opening is not tight enough, you're gonna have different sounds coming out. Same with the vocal cords. So if you just close them a little bit, you're gonna have a little bit of a whispered kind of voice. And then if you close them a little bit more, you're gonna have more sound. And if you really close them, you know, close them fully, you're gonna get a richer, fuller sound and a louder sound, okay? And of course, they're not just closing and staying that way, because that will be us holding our breath and the air is not coming through at all. But if they're closing and the air is coming through, then that's the thick, they call it the thick closure, some call it the tight closure, whatever, yeah? So that will be more of a chest voice quality, that will be more of a head voice quality, that will be just an airy voice, and that will be no voice. Now it's a little bit of a voice. So yeah, don't do that. It's not very good for your vocal cords. Vocal cords don't really like not closing when they vibrate. They don't like doing that for a long period of time because it just dries them up. There's a lot of air going in between the vocal cords. It's not nice on them. But that doesn't mean that you cannot play with different qualities of closing your vocal cords or different degrees of closing your vocal cords. For this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to fully close your vocal cords. Whether you're making a sound or not, let's get going. So after this long lecture, first things first, we're going to just learn what it's like when the vocal cords are completely closed. So I don't know if you know that, but when we hold our breath, the vocal cords are closed, and they're closed very tightly, and they don't allow any air to go in between them. Now the vocal cords can do that. They actually are also participant in the swallowing mechanism to protect the trachea, the air pipe, from having things going, you know, going down the throat. So they're really functioning like a gate, yeah? So if we just, you know, just breathe out to release everything and breathe in and stop. So stop your air. Don't breathe in, don't breathe out. Right now your vocal cords are closed, okay? Breathe out. Let's try this again. Breathe in. Stop. That's what it's like when your vocal cords are closed. So I don't know if you feel it yet, but you will. If you just do that a few times, you'll start noticing there's like a tiny closing or tightness feeling in your throat. I don't really like the word tightness, but I don't really know how else to describe it. Maybe you can come up with something and let me know. So we can make this little mechanism of closing the vocal cords a little bit more proactive so that we can really feel what's going on. If we breathe out, breathe in, and then exhale just a tiny bit and stop. And you can make that little sound. It has to be very small. Don't give me, that's way too much. That's a lot of pressure on your vocal cords. So don't do that. Just go, you're just saying a little hey, and then stopping it right away. Yeah? So that's again the action of your vocal cords closing. If you want to keep that feeling, and I recommend that you do, keep that feeling of the vocal cords closed as you make a sound, then you can practice that. So you breathe out. I keep saying breathe out because I don't want you to over inhale and start getting dizzy and faint on me. So you breathe out, you breathe in, you go, huh. And now you're just gonna speak with pretending that you're not breathing out. Now, of course, if you make sound, you're gonna breathe out a tiny bit. You have to use some kind of airflow going in between your vocal cords to make a sound. So when you speak, you will exhale, but I want you to pretend that you're not, okay? And that will get you the closest feeling you can have to the vocal cords being fully closed, but they will open up just a tiny bit to allow the air from flowing. Let's do it again. Breathe out, breathe in. And now we can talk, say hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. It's a lovely day today. It's a horrible day today, whatever, whatever you want to say, just say it and pretend that you're not exhaling, okay? So that's exercise number 1. So you can take this little exercise and instead of the speaking or after you practice some speaking, replace that with a vocal exercise, any vocal exercise. We're just gonna try now going on the 5 Italian vowels. So I want A, E, I, O, U. And first we're gonna breathe out, breathe in, do the h, and now say A, E, O without breathing out. Try it. A, E, O. Good. And now we're just gonna do it on the same note. Breathe out. Breathe in. A, E, O. Breathe in. A, E, O. Breathe out. Breathe in. A, E, O. For starters, when you just start with this exercise, don't skip all of those steps. Really do the whole breathing exercise, including the breathe out, breathe in, do the little, do that every single time because you need to get used to that feeling. When you know what it's like to not exhale all your air while you're making those sounds, then you can skip those steps, okay? Let's go on. Breathe out, breathe in. I, O. Breathe in. I, O. One more. In. I, O. And that's already pretty low. Let's go back to the middle and do some more. Breathe out, breathe in. I, O. In. I, O. In. I, O. out. You don't need to breathe in so much, by the way. Just a little bit. And go huh. As we go up, it's going to get a bit tricky, because when we go huh, and then we feel like we have to jump to a high note, we're usually going to let go of that closure. So I encourage you to insist on that feeling. And maybe you can just start right away without waiting too much in between. It will help you keep the same feeling. Okay, let's breathe out. Breathe in. 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 One more. Okay. And that's the idea. Alright, now a nice way to practice that feeling of the vocal cords closing real fast and real simply, which is the way I think they should be doing this. We don't want major mechanisms here. We just want very small amount of air, very small gesture. Yeah? So for this we're going to use we're just going to say we use that in the warm-up video, and we're going to use that now, and just say on the notes. We're going to go don't try to sing, really say it. But you say it on the notes. Good. Pay close attention to what that feels like. If it's minimal, if you're not making an effort, that's what you're looking for. If you feel like you're going, that's not what you're looking for. So if that's what you feel, just think about a smaller sound. Imagine, visualize a small sound. It is a mind trick, but it works. And say it first. You say that like, you know, like a naive person, like a naive child. Then that's it. Yeah. Let's go on. Yes, and if you feel like you're trying to do the and what comes out is if the air tries to escape you, that it means that you really are not used to this kind of closure. Yeah, what I recommend you do is that after you started that little closure, keep in mind that it continues. Yeah, so you keep it happening after it started. Maybe you can even represent it with your fingers or something, and put them by your larynx. And make sure that you don't go yeah, just experiment with that and see if it helps you. Let's move on. It gets weirder and squeakier. And open your mouth. Another exercise I really like for closing the vocal cords is the twang, yeah, or what I call the squeaky voice. I use it in every warm-up. I use it every time I need more volume, more range. It's just good overall because it helps to close the vocal cords. And when you close the vocal cords, you just have a better sense of control, the real kind of control over your voice, not that control that we at first, all beginners, like to do, which is to just work with the throat muscles and the chest muscles and the shoulder muscles and just and the jaw muscles and just grab, grab on the sound. So we're gonna do the nya 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 again because it's magic, and just say like the ng, and then ya, nya, nya. And that's a really squeaky sound. We love that. We're gonna go nya 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 nya. It's just really simple. And let's do it. Nya 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 nya. 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 Contraltos, let's see you go. Okay. Let's do some more. Nya 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 nya. And as we go up, I need you to insist on that squeakiness, and I need you to open the badass face. Yeah, we talked about that. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Cheeks up, jaw down. Nya 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 nya. 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 Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. All right. So those are the very basic, very useful exercises you can use to close your vocal cords, and you can take what those exercises do to a song, so you can repeat the same mechanism. If you need a tip to go straight into your singing, you can do the nya nya on a song. Yeah, that works very, very well. You can sing, for example, nya 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 oh nya nya nya, yeah, and then you put the words there and you pretend that you still say nya. I know the deep end, watches I dive in. I really pretend that I'm still saying nya, even though I'm saying the words, and I get the same quality of voice and same easiness that I got from the nya nya nya. And I'm sure it happens with 100% of my students. When you do the nya nya on higher notes, the higher notes just feel a lot easier. They feel like they're not so high anymore. So try it out. Another thing you can do, especially if you need the vocal cord closure also for air management, because that's another very important benefit of the vocal cords closing. As we mentioned before, when they close, they're like a gate keeping the air from escaping. So that can be very helpful when you want to sing a very long phrase. And let me give you an example. So if I want to sing a really long phrase, so for example, I really like Schubert's Litanei. It's a song that he wrote, and it has long phrases. Now some singers will just breathe in the middle of the phrase like this. In Frieden, alle Seelen. And that's okay. But if you want to show off, or if you feel, it serves the music, it serves the song to really do it in one phrase, which I happen to think this is the case here, then I want to do everything. I want to do the whole phrase in one breath, right? So the way I want to do that is do what I call the robot speaking. And the robot speaking is basically when you talk and immediately after you start a certain syllable, you stop the air right away. So if my text is Ruhen in Frieden alle Seelen. Yeah? Then I'm going to say Ruhen in Frieden alle Seelen. So I'm barely letting any air out. Ruhen in Frieden alle Seelen. And the next step will be to do that on the notes, but of course I'm gonna have to let a little bit, tiny bit more air out to actually start singing this, but I'm gonna pretend that I'm not. I'm gonna pretend that I'm not using even 1/4 of an ounce more air than I just did. And that's what it sounds like. I want to try one example with you. So we're going to take a very famous song by Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. There's a phrase there that goes, "You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through." Okay? Now, of course, you don't have to sing all that in one breath, but maybe you want to do it. You want to just say, "You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through." And you want to sing all that on the tempo, which is a bit slower, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think you can do it. So we're just going to say the words first. You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through. Very good. And now we're just going to say them in the robot speaking. You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through. Yeah, I want you to do that a couple of times. Maybe even pause the video, do that a couple of times to feel what it's like. Feel what it's like in your body to really stop the air, to really keep it all in, because that's what's going to give you eventually that long breath. So now we're going to sing it using the robot speaking feeling. Ready? You went back. Remember? 1, 2, 3, and you went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through, or something like that. So it took me a while to get this covered and to be able to use it. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't happen 100% in the first time. It's especially difficult to keep that stopped air feeling when you have a long note, but that's the goal. So keep at it and see if you can use it for yourself. That was the tutorial on closing your vocal cords or having a healthy vocal cord function. I really believe that will give you a lot more control over your voice if you learn how to do that in that minimal way that doesn't involve tension and doesn't involve, a lot of air pressure coming from underneath. So go for it. Tell me how it goes, and thank you so much. Enjoy singing.